Right. So for everyone who doesn't know Dobara is a non-profit organization based in Hyderabad, India, and we are focused on everything related to senior well-being, healthy and active aging. So since the past year, we have been doing a virtual well-being program involving over 200 members from around the world. And today's session is part of our virtual well-being program. Um, Let me introduce our host for today. We will be listening to Mamta Gupta talk about the power of habits. A little bit about Mamta, a little introduction. Mamta is a teacher by profession, and she is an active member of the Multiple Sclerosis Society of India since 2009, and she's been the past chairman for 6 years. Chairperson, sorry. She's also a member of the International Resource Group and the member of the executive committee at Smiles, which is a senior citizen home. At Smiles, Mamta was very much involved in organizing a fashion show for the members and the residents there, along with Dobara, and that was really fun. But apart from that, she organizes multiple activities at the Smile Senior Citizen Home, including the New Year's Eve event, Tombola, 1-minute cognitive activity games, mandala art, book reading sessions, and so much more. Today, Mamta will be telling us about the power of habits and building new habits, breaking bad ones. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody so that we can just focus on Mamta. So I'm going to hand it over to you now, Mamta. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sameen, for that wonderful introduction. Namaste, everyone. So this is not a formal talk. It's just that I want to share with you what I have learned and practiced, and which has helped me to grow into a better person. In January this year, I attended a 5-day workshop on how to build a habit, how to break a habit, and powerful morning and night routine. So this is what I'm going to talk about. This workshop was conducted by Jay Shetty, who's a motivational speaker and a former monk. And he has a following of about 20 million people worldwide. Now, I also want to mention 3 books which have been a game changer in my life. I have typed the names of the books in the chat box, and I'm also telling you aloud. Some of you must have read the books also. The first one is Holocaust of Attachment by A. Parthasarathy. In this, he clearly shows the thin line which is there between attachment and love. And there's a little quote from this book: the lack of intellect has caused the mind's attachment to spouse, children, wealth, religion, practically everything. Second is think like a monk. Here there are basic principles which help to transform a monkey mind to a monk mind. Monkey mind is all the time thinking, jumping from one thought to the other, and monk mind is how to be calm and rested. Third is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. It gives powerful lessons in personal change. Now, there is no time or there is no age to read these books. These are evergreen books. You pick them up anytime. And most of us are senior citizens. So if you have a problem in reading, now there is an app on Amazon called Audible. So you can order the book on that and hear it whenever you wish to. Coming to the talk, I'll begin with a quote. Aristotle, the Greek philosopher, says, "We are what we repeatedly do. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit." This is so true. If we look at successful people, we will notice that the foundation of what they do is built on good habits. So here I would like to tell you a story. Listen to it carefully. And then Sameen, I want you to unmute for a few seconds because I want to ask a question. Okay. So a man, here we begin the story. A man was asked to go to reach his village in a particular direction. He had to follow one direction to reach his village. And he started walking. As he was walking, he was faced by a violent river. Now the river was very violent and he started thinking, now how do I go? He collected the bamboos and whatever leaves and whatever was there, and he built a raft. He rode on that and he crossed the river. After he crossed the river, actually he did not need the raft, right? But he was like, so thankful to the raft, and it had been of help at the most crucial time of his life. So what he did, he took the raft and he tied it on his back and he began to walk. He walked some distance. Then he had to go through a dense forest. There were trees just next to each other. As he was walking, the raft was hitting the trees and it was painful for him. And he saw that he just can't walk ahead. What to do? He kept thinking. He was so attached to the raft, he didn't want to let go of that. But finally, what did he do? He couldn't move. So he had to give up that raft, put it there, and then he started walking and reached his destination. So what do we learn from this story? Can anybody tell me? What is the moral of the story? Like, the children we ask, what is the moral of the story?
Everyone is welcome to unmute and share your input at this point.
So,
yes,
wants to,
Dr.
yes,
Don't get attached.
Yeah,
Don't get
absolutely. Yeah, to the point. What do we learn? We have to let go. We are so attached to everything. We don't let go. Letting go is hard, but holding on is more painful. Wasn't he being pain? He was having this pain on his back. Now, also we learned that the solution at one time, the raft was a solution at one time, but it became a hurdle at another time, right? So all the time in your life, you won't have the same solution. It might become a hurdle. So we need to move ahead, let go and move ahead. So we are holding on to our bad habits. Now you can mute, Sunny. We are holding on to our bad habits, which have become our attachment. And these prevent us from moving ahead. They become a block in our growth. Always remember the word block. And then, it'll recapture. Okay, where are you? You are stuck. So अब पीछे छोड़ने का समय आ गया है. अभी नहीं छोड़ेंगे तो कब? So let's let go and move ahead. Holding on makes, when you're holding on, it makes you to be at a survival mode. You're there. चलो हो रहा है जैसे हो रहा है. You're at a survival mode. But letting go, it pushes you to a drive mode. You move ahead. So now before we learn how to break a bad habit, I want to discuss how a habit gets formed. How do we get into it? How does it become an attachment? So suppose now, with our age group, like, youngsters, we can talk on social media and things like that. With our age group, maybe let me give you an example. Say, nowadays these web series are going on. So what happens is you are seeing all the friends are chatting. You go for a kitty party and you see all the friends are chatting about this web series. I watched this. Your children at home also talking, and you feel left out. Arey, what is this? I don't know anything about the web series. So what do you say? What do? You got attracted towards it, right? And then you watch one. You watch one. You start liking it. You start watching more. You're giving more and more of your time towards it. So what does that become? It becomes an addiction. And then you don't even know when you got attached to it that you are not able to get rid of it. So the most important thing is the 3 R's, the three A's, attract, addict, and attach. So this is how a bad habit is formed, which depletes your energy day by day and pushes you away from your growth. You're always in the survival mode. Like, time pass ho raha hai. No, friends. Age is just in the mind. We need to live a dynamic life, performing action till our last breath. Swami Ramtirtha says, die with boots on. It's not that ki bhai ab hamara aram ka time hai and let it be. I've learned whatever I've learned in life and now let me sit and relax. No, that's not the right thing. So let's make a conscious and consistent effort to overcome one bad habit. You take responsibility for your own growth and begin with micro steps. Remember, begin with micro steps without making excuses, blaming, or cribbing. So for this, what is required is the 3 R's. The 3 R's. The 3 R's are research, reward, and replacement. I'm saying again, you can note down research, reward, and replacement. So what is research? Coming to research, how will you find out? You need to find out, no? Okay, this is a bad habit and what is going to happen if I continue? Suppose you're consuming too much sugar. So when you're consuming too much sugar, read about it. Talk to friends who have diabetes, how they're suffering. Why is sugar harmful? Why should I get rid of this habit? Why is sugar harmful? So do that research. Now, suppose you are sleeping late in the night. Talk to people who are sleeping. You've got addicted to web series. People are watching till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. You also sit, kya hai? Tomorrow I'll get up late. What is there? Let me wake up. Okay, one night is okay. Maybe a Saturday night is okay, but not every day. This becomes a habit. So you ask those people how fatigued they are in the morning. They're irritable. They are always stressed out, full of anxiety. So make a research. Talk to people, or if you have an addiction of smoking or alcohol, or sometimes pan, any type of addiction. In that case, you should go and see the rehabilitation center. Go and meet the people, talk to those who have been consuming all these things for years together and what is their state. So this is your research. Then is your reward. When you think of the reward, you'll be motivated towards breaking that habit. So reward is what? What will I benefit once I break this habit? If it's sugar, you're going to imagine how healthy you're going to be. Now, if it is TV or your web series or your social media, and then you can think how much time you will have to talk to your children, extra time to do your passion, or whatever amount of time you will get, which you are spending on that TV. There'll be less stress, less anxiety, less emotional baggage, and no negativity. You'll be in a better mood and more productive. Coming to replacement. What is replacement? You have to trade another habit for an old one. You just can't leave a habit, right? It is very difficult. So suppose, it is getting up in the morning and the first thing is you catch hold of your phone. So what will you do? You will push the phone away, put a notepad and a pen there. Morning you get up, just write a thankful note on that. You begin your day beautifully then. Or if it's sugar, don't keep sweets in the house. Keep dates, keep dried fruits. You have lovely dried berries nowadays in the market. Dried raisins are there, which are tasty. So like this, you replace with items. You can have fruit, mango, or berries. And now if you're giving time, you have extra time because you have stopped, your social media, reduced your social media, reduce your TV. Give that time to read a book, listen to music. So this is what is replacement. So I hope you all remember the 3 R's are research, we have reward, and we have replacement. No matter, now, no matter how strong your bad habit is, keep it in mind that you are stronger. So this is about breaking a habit. Now I come to the next topic, which is building a habit. So choose a habit, write down, choose a habit. And as I said, in breaking a habit, small micro steps, same thing we have to do in building a habit. Building a habit, like suppose, you're thinking of from many days, I have to start a walk, I have to start. Doctor has also told you. We become lazy. We say, no, I don't need, I'm walking in the house. No, just write it down. I have to start walking or reading or being more mindful. At our age, we need to be more mindful. Be very slow and careful in everything. Eat mindfully, walk mindfully, talk mindfully. This is a very good habit. If we can really, build this habit. I have worked on it for more than a year, and still I'm like not 100% mindful. You know how this monkey mind is? So it's not that you can't do it. So now there are 6 steps to build a habit. There are 6 strong steps in building a habit. These are why. First is why. What? How? Where? When? And who? I'll repeat. Why? What? How? Where? When? And who? Coming to the first one, why? It's the reason you want to build that particular habit. You have to keep asking the question, why? Why do you want? If you are not able to answer the question, why, you will never be able to do it. You have to ask the question, why you want to leave sugar? That's because you will be healthy. You will have less problems. You will stay away from some illness, some disease. Why you want to get up, sleep early in the night and get up early in the morning? It's because you will be fresh in the morning. You will have a proper sleep. So keep on asking the question till you get the answer as it's for my well-being. It's for my growth that I want to build this habit. Second is what? Be sure of what you have to do. Today you think, no, let me start walking. Tomorrow you'll say, no, exercise is more important. So start with one habit. It will take a lot of time to build one habit itself. So just be sure of your habit, write it down that, okay, this is the one which I'm going to start from today itself. So that is what all is required, you will do for it. What all is required, you will do for it. Third is very important. That is how. How? Can anybody write in the chat box how? How? What is the answer for how? How will you do it? What is required? What is required from you? Consistency, conscious effort, your willpower, and stay motivated. There's 4 very strong points which you have to, they're so important. Without this, you just cannot form that habit or build a habit. You can, we always think of, think of an architect, how he builds a building. So perfect, technical. Let's stay with that analogy and not with an analogy of a dreamer who will keep on postponing. Tomorrow, I will do it tomorrow. But how an architect works, even if there is a problem, he will come back and start building again. The same way, we have to come back fighting back again on that particular goal. This is like a goal. You have to achieve it like a goal, very important in your life. Fourth is where. Where is a location? Suppose you want to start yoga in the morning and any exercise. So you choose a corner. You choose a place in the room. Keep your yoga mat next to it. That from tomorrow morning, I am going to do yoga at this place. If it's reading, see a nice corner, relaxed corner in your room or in the balcony or, anyway. So that is where is the place, location. Next is when. When is the time? You can't say, yeah, I'll do it whenever I get the time. You'll never get the time. So when is the time? Is the fix a time. You have to fix the time. Okay, start with 5 minutes or start with 10 minutes. okay, this 5 minutes walk I have to do today at so and so time. Remember, friends, discipline is very important. Without discipline, we can't achieve anything. So now remember how these location and time. So someone has said it very well. Time has memory. Time has memory and location has energy. That is why we say that these two are very important to choose. Please do not leave these two. The last one is who. So you want to do it alone? Fine, go ahead. But if you feel you can't do it alone, don't leave it. Talk to your partner, talk to your children. You have now friends. If someone is going for a walk, talk to her. If you want to get up early in the morning, ask someone to give you a reminder or call you. So who is with people? Like, you know, if it is any addiction, smoking or alcohol, then you should be open to talking to a therapist. There is no harm in these things. Be open and choose whom you want to do it with. And now apply these and become the architect of your life. So we've learned how we will break a habit, old habit or a bad habit. We've learned how to build a habit, build a new habit, a good habit. Now I want to talk about a powerful morning routine and a powerful evening routine. Routine means, you know, that morning time is like say 15 to 20 minutes it takes. And if we give this in the morning, you start the day well, it is going to be really very helpful. This is something, you know, which I never used to do. I used to wait for my maid to come, give me tea at 8 o'clock in my bed, and then I would get up. But when I attended this workshop in January, since then, now how many months? Still in June, more than 6 months, you know, I have started waking up at 5:45 now. From 8 o'clock to 5:45, and I'm wondering, you know, I'm so relaxed. I have so much time for myself. And otherwise, I used to, you know, be so rushed in the morning. Okay, I had my tea. After that, there's so much rush for everything. And also, we cannot, you know, outsource our happiness and joy and thinking that someone is going to come and make your good day. No, we will have to make our day good. You know, it's like a musk deer. You all know musk, which is the fragrance. So that is basically in his stomach, and he is running around everywhere to hunt for that fragrance, which is already within him. So let's not be that and move ahead. So the morning routine is like a shield and armor. If anything goes wrong, you're prepared. You've already spent that valuable time for yourself. The first thing in the morning, what we should do is not to look at the phone. As you look at the phone, your mind is full of information and it's already become turbulent at the beginning of the day. The next is you plan your next day the night before. Okay, what are you going to wear? What is the cooking going to happen? Or what you want to eat? You can tell the person who's taking care of the kitchen, but note it down. Note it in your mind or write it down. I generally write it down. Everything, I take 5 minutes to write it down. Okay, this is what is going to be cooked. This is where I have to go. I take out my clothes, even the daily clothes, I take them out in the night and keep them aside. So that none of your time in the morning, none of your time is wasted in thinking, in decision making. It's an important the morning hour. And at that time, we are making decisions. Aaj kya banana hai? Aaj kya pehenna hai? And you're wasting so much time in that. Okay. Third is, it is a very important, it's a four deepest habits to build into a morning routine. The acronym TIME. T-I-M-E. Coming to T. T is for thankfulness. Thankfulness. What are you grateful for? Write down a powerful thank you message in the morning. Not just, okay, you pick up the phone and type one thank you to anyone. No, you write a detailed message to a person. I've been doing it continuously this since January. That made me realize there are how many people, it's endless, how many people you have to thank to, and we just don't think about it, what they've done in your life, how important they've been in your life. So just do this reminder. I don't know if Meena Gupta is there with us. Samin, is Meena there with us?
I can't see Anina Gupta in the audience. Nina or Meena?
Meena Didi, yes, Meena Gupta.
No.
Okay. So what happened was she's been, like a pillar of strength in my life. And yeah, that's nice. He's saying, I thank that I'm alive today. That's also good. But what I am talking about is thanking someone else, sending a message. And you tell me later on what was your experience. I've heard from people, they've had tears in their eyes. I write it very distinctly. Okay, you were there at that time, you came to my house at so and so day, I was very touched. So all those things, your children, you've been grateful for whatever. So all that, it's a powerful thank you message, which will early in the morning, it will not, it will remove all anxiousness in the morning. Then we come to I. I is for inspiration. So the moment we get up, we brush our teeth. So put a nice inspirational quote on the mirror. First thing you get up and you see that. That motivates you. I have written, happiness looks gorgeous on me. And early in the morning, when I read that, at least I smile. So that is something which is inspiration, which will motivate you and give you a good start early in the morning. Next is meditation. I'm not asking for some technical meditation, which is very difficult to do. When you are drinking your cup of tea, think, how can you make this a beautiful day? Or sit in your garden. If you don't have a garden, sit in your balcony. If you don't have a balcony, we just have excuses. If you don't have a balcony, there'll be a window in your house. Just sit near a window of your home, or, light a burner in the morning. Sit beside that, drink your cup of tea, watch the burner. This is also meditation. I get up in the morning and I just open the window of my kitchen balcony. I don't have a very beautiful balcony. I just open the kitchen balcony and I look at the sky. I look at the birds. And I just say, this is 24 hours I have, God. I just want to pass this day smiling and be compassionate to others. And, this is a meditation which was taught by one of the counselors. She said that, we are generally going through this stage of loneliness, right? All of us, we go through, though we have people in the house, still we are lonely at times. So what I was told that you stand up on your 2 feet and you think, this is just 2 minutes meditation. If you do it, it will be really beneficial. You think that you are rooted to the Mother Earth. You're rooted to the Mother Earth. You're a strong tree. Your legs are the trunk. And as you go up, you have your branches, then the flowers, the leaves, the flowers, and fruit. And then you look up, and you imagine a vast space, the sky. It's so beautiful. Stay in that moment for a minute and then say these words. These are very beautiful words. We know that the divinity is within us. So share it and say, I and the divine share the same breath. I and the divine share the same breath. Say it as many times as you feel like, thinking, friends, I stay alone. And whenever I feel that I'm alone, I just stand up and I do this. It is really very helpful. So if you wish, you can try it. Now the last one is E. E is for exercise. As we said that we are going to take small steps. So exercising, I'm not saying exercise for 20 minutes. This whole schedule is only for 20 minutes. All this you can finish in 15, 20 minutes. I'm sure all of us can give that time to ourselves. Exercise, you can, even lying down in bed, you can just shake your legs, your hands, rotation of your hands, legs, feet, or you can do some eye movements, or just get up and walk around, that will give you that blood circulation just for 5 minutes. So in all, this will not take more than 20 minutes, and this is a precious me time. Now we come to the night, you can call it the routine before sleeping. So if you're sleeping at 10 o'clock, friends, just take out that 15 minutes before that, and you will see how well you sleep. There'll be no sleeping problem at all. Here we take the acronym NIGHT. N-I-G-H-T. N. Can anybody write what is N for? Write it in the chat box. I'm sure everybody knows this, what is N for. N is for no phone. We think it's only the children. No, it's not only the children who are addicted to the phones. We are also addicted to the phone. Yes, Sameen. No phone, Sameen. Thank you for writing that. It's very, very important. 1 hour before sleep, no phone. Keep it little away from your, where you're sleeping. Just keep it away from there. It should not be within the area where you can catch hold of it. This agitates your mind and you are unable to sleep. What do you need to sleep? You need a calm mind to sleep. And what have you done with the phone, with all that WhatsApp, talking on the phone, or listening to social media? What have you done? You've already agitated the mind. You will not get sleep. So instead, read a book, listen to a book, music. You have these motivational videos. There is an option for everything. So use the phone. If you want to use the phone, use it for that, not for any chatting or social media. Second is intention. Intention is like an alarm the night before. When you're lying down, say it aloud or say it in your heart, keep it in your heart or your mind. I will get up happy and healthy. I say it aloud. I will get up happy and healthy. I will wake up energized and full of abundance. So this is like, programming yourself for the next day. Now G is for gratitude. G is for gratitude. You started the day with thankful note. You end the day for gratefulness. I'm telling you, this is not repetition. Here, gratitude is whatever good happened. Just go through what you did from morning. How did the day pass? Early in the morning, maid came on time. My God, so grateful. So you think and be grateful. Thank her in your mind. I was grateful. She cooked a wonderful meal. Be grateful. Your daughter-in-law, your daughter gave you a cup of tea. Be grateful. If you're not able to tell her, at least be grateful in your mind. So whatever happened, your driver took you to a place or a mall or for shopping, be grateful. A colleague you have a good chat with a colleague, be grateful for that. So, if you, from the morning, what happened, if you thank all these things, you will see that it removes all negative energy, which you have carried from the day. Everybody carries negative energy, but the art is in how you can get rid of this negative energy. This helps a lot. H is for healing. Healing is you pour your thoughts. We call it journaling. See, there are certain times you can't say something to someone. Instead of replying back, fight out your anger. Anger will do harm to you only. So these hurt feelings you have, Note it down, scribble it down. You don't have to be perfect. Just write it roughly. While lying down also, take a pencil, you can just write it. Or some happy moments which you have been really, which have touched you. Note them down. So this is what we call healing. T is most important. Time for sleep. I think 50% of us, we just sleep at any time. No. Set that in your mind. Okay, 10 is the time I have to sleep. Time for sleep is important. And for our age, it is more important. Your body has to recover and the time has to sleep at the right time. Not sleeping late, getting up early, sleeping in the afternoon to catch up on the sleep which you lost in the night. That's not the way. So friends, if you're not getting sleep, even after doing all this 20 minutes of NIGHT, then just keep everything away. Take a deep breath, count till 4, then exhale, count till 4. I guarantee that you'll fall asleep. So start your day well, end well. You will see how you grow and succeed in transforming yourself. That's it. Thank you from me. Namaste.